Throughout trials and tribulations, you have never given up the fight. Gather here to straighten your crown. Much love and light. Hit it!
Hit the light, hit the light,
Love and light. All right, collective. Whoever is resonating with this honey bun, we gotta talk. All right. I am seeing in current energies situations like you scrolling, whether guy, girl, what have you. You waiting, watching, posting, right? Hell, maybe even hosting, hoping that this other individual, gosh, I really want to call them a mofo, just saying, regardless of guy, girl, what have you. Whoever's on the other side of this, okay? Because ain't no way they treating my honey bun collective like this, all right? And you know what, you guys, especially in this dispensation, if people are really for you, they can't help but share that with you, right? And same deal if they're not. And it's really up to us to kind of see it or them for what or who they really are, okay? So no rose-colored glasses allowed up in this piece, just saying, okay? Put them down. Matter of fact, break them, okay? They should not be a thing. Not in this timeline. Just so serious, okay? Now, we're going to get into this. 111 on the timer. Yes, I'm claiming that for you. You better claim it along with me for you, to be clear, okay? Because woo-wee, this ain't it. Whomever, whatever you've known regarding this whole scenario, or dare you call it a relationship, just saying, I'm not going to be the one, right? Because this is like unrequited at its best, which means it's pretty shitty, just saying. And if you're being honest with yourself, the way this person rejects you, dismisses you, isn't even there for you, right? Not even a cricket heard on their behalf in your presence, to be clear, even when they're not around, just saying, okay? Is nothing you should be giving your attention to. You know why? Because when you give your attention to that ish, you get more of it. That's why we talk about, hey, get grateful for the lesson. And boy, oh boy, if this ain't just one of them. Okay. So, we're going to get into chart placements and we're going to get into, initials, right? Didn't really have a whole lot come out, and you know what? I'm okay with that because that means not everybody from my collective is going to resonate with this. Yay, I'm happy about that. So just saying, celebrating. 222 was just on that timer. Okay, now it's not a contest, you guys. Hold on. It's not a contest because if this is for you and you're resonating with it, get excited just the same because you are about to have that breakthrough. Okay, you're about to shake it off. Dust your shoulders straight in the crown. I am so serious, okay? Because that's why you came, whether you knew it or not, to this particular message. Isn't that neat how that works? I love you guys so much. Okay, so let's get back to the reading, all right? Now, when we get to those chart placements or the initials, please know, could be on either side of the fence here, all right? Also, if you know, high key, that this is your reading, right? Like it's resonating, you can't really deny that. You shouldn't, even if the chart placements and or the initials, whether on the part of you and or your person, come out in the stack or not. All right, to be clear, all right? Still general collective message, you guys. And guess what? Even if it doesn't resonate, I hope you stick around, have some tea, and enjoy the growth, okay? Because that's what we're celebrating nonetheless. As well, high key 333 is a number of some significance. Just saying, look it up, all right? Look up those angel numbers, would ya? They really help round out the message every time, you guys, okay? So long story short, I see that whomever I'm talking to, whether guy, girl, what have you, and this is a mixed bag, I can say, quite frankly, I'm talking to guys, girls, what have yous on both sides of the fence here, referable to this, shall I say, communicable energy, right? This collective of energies, right? So in case anyone's wondering or downright fearful, could it be mine because I'm this? Yes, baby. Okay, so you got this. You know what you got going on. Tarot or any form of divination really is just to confirm what you already know. Okay, and this is why we're talking about it, because you need to go on ahead and turn the page. You already know, honey bun, that this is a mofo. Like, if you have days and nights and hours and weeks and months and years go by, and the mofo has yet to deliver, that's what they already gave you. Nothing. Remember? 444. Just saying, wish fulfillment is up ahead, but not until you kind of get over this hump, turn this page, move on from the past, okay? Maybe it is more aptly stated as stepping into the unknown. Either way, blessings reside, okay, on the other side of this, right? And I get this. This is not necessarily for one to the next here resonating with this. So simple. Some of you, you've relocated, you've at least traveled, right? You've made arrangements, you've created expectations. Ooh, and therein lies some aspect of the lesson about how not to expect yourselves to be in control always and in all ways, and to know everything always and in all ways when you're not here for that. Pick another timeline, right? Like, or catch up to the one that you're in, really. Okay, this is the reality of the situation, all right? And you are to trust this process. You are to trust that on the other side of you, kind of smashing those rose colored glasses, you're still going to survive, all right? We're not here to kind of worry about the other person or any person or anything not worrying about us. So it's really not shame filled to move on here. And some of you, you're grappling with that. Like, is it? Because quite frankly, when you do start really, I'm hearing integrating I don't know if some of you, this person really was just keeping you around, or keeping you not even around, but on the rope there, so to speak, because of your destiny. I mean, you guys, you really have to honor who you are right now, so that way you don't fall prey to someone who won't. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of part of that lesson as well. I mean, it's a mixed bag, I get it. I'm picking up bits and pieces of a lot of different things that could be a lot of different energies attached to different people here. And I want to be mindful of that so no one feels called out in an extra heightened sense, right? Like, it's like, but I didn't even do these things. And you did not. So move, like, again, there's like this move it along. Do not lay claim to baggage that never had your name on it. You know what I'm saying? It was never yours. And there is something coming through the channeling about these destinies, right? From one destiny to the next, or one side of the fence here to the next, destinies were not equal. All right. It's like there was this expectation that you had on one side. There could be some significance to Florida, someone living near a beach, perhaps, right? Um, there's definitely this heavy device energy. I'm looking at different cards, and many of them are depicting both, female appearing as well as male appearing individuals that are heavily perplexed and anxious and, bitter over the lack of communication, lack of confirmation, lack of presence, definitely felt through spending time with your phone. Hey, maybe don't do that so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start pinpointing, like, all right, when I have these tendencies to scroll at 11 p.m., right? I then tend to not only scroll, but scroll past the pages, the platforms, the pictures, what have you, whatever it makes sense to say, of this person, right? And then the rabbit hole just opens up. It's like, yeah, at that point, you've got to recognize the pattern. Once you recognize the pattern, you can even take the aspect of emotionality out and logically say, I'm doing this. I'm opening the rabbit hole. Now, of course, this is not the blame game, and no one is blaming you wholly in particular. The only reason for the issuance of a message like this type and the guidance is simply so that when you do next take action, or dare I say inaction, it benefits you in to the highest degree, as it should. 858 could be a number of some significance, all right? Now, sometimes we do have to deal with the emotionality aspect to help us get over the hump, and that is being confirmed. So we're going to talk about it. I've already gone ahead and pulled the cards. No worries, right? But some of you, these people were at some point halfway around the world. Maybe they are bilingual, okay? Maybe they are overseas. Maybe you have relocated, or you have gone through great pains to travel halfway around the world, just the travel alone, let alone relocation, that can be hella bank, right? So again, when you are investing, especially also finances alongside those emotions, this can be like a really big slap in the face, one that you don't necessarily want to eat, right? You don't want to just take it off the cuff and keep moving. However, I need you to know, collective, if and when the guidance comes through that you should, I mean, utilize your own intuition. I'm not here to say that your intuition should not trump any reader or any outside experience, okay, to be clear, right? So I'm asking you, cross reference it with your intuition, but be honest with yourselves, okay? About the whole should I move on, because it's really being heavily suggested. I'm looking at a bunch of red cards, which is giving indicators, dare I say, receipts of red flag energy that this person has just, quite frankly, if you're being honest, consistently given you, okay? I get that there was this great expectation of, maybe even like power couple energy, sharing what was supposedly the American dream, or what it was touted as, and only to end up in some sort of like she shed situation, he shed. Maybe you feel restricted in the new, you know, um, I'm hearing domicile. I don't know if that's, maybe you feel restricted in your new quarters, right? You felt like, or even in the relationship, right? You felt like you should feel safe. You expected to feel safe. You felt like, for whatever reason, okay, because, some people, when they put the masks on, they are so ornate, intricate, mesmerizing, right? So you really could have felt like you and this person were on the same page. That, yeah, no, we have and share the same expectations, and I've got this to bring to the table, and you've got that, right? But whole time, somebody could have been just literally putting you on, not coming for you. This isn't a laughing matter. I'm not even giggling to keep my vibe high. All right, so we're all doing our part here just to get over this, to get past it. Now, there could be some significance to the name Mo here, or you are being guided to definitely also just the same, regardless of that Mo factor, to really get into the stillness energy. And I will be sharing in the community some of the mudras that I have picked up for this particular session. Spirit wanted me to share with you. And so you can see them with more, here's that word again, intricacy, right? In a few short moments, okay? You gotta let me upload this, and then I can post that and do my thing. 1221 could be a number of some significance, as well as 33. And I'm also looking at a 33 here on one of these cards, indicating inner wisdom. Long and the short of it, you are being guided to get into the stillness so that you can enter into this expansive flow, expansion as well as flow. They want you to know that's two different parts, okay? And long and the short of it is, this is encompassed by some inner wisdom that is looking to be re-shown to you. It's nothing that you don't know. Maybe it's something that you previously weren't accepting of. Maybe you were fearful of, aspects of self and who you are and what you come to do. Because I do see you being connected to the Fae, yes, but I also see you playing your part here as some form of karma. Karmic justice doesn't always feel great, does it, right? But it always stands, okay? And really, part of your karmic justice about entering into, and dare I say, because I'm intentioning this for you, you overcoming this lesson, is that no longer should you be the one, especially you, okay? No longer should you be the one to forget about you. No longer should you be the one to put you last. No longer should you be the one to overgive, to be, just all that you can be, just because, right? That would be like saying, well, it's logic based to have the understanding that you should respect everyone first. It's like respect isn't given, it's earned, right? Now, just because you don't necessarily highly respect someone doesn't mean that you've got license or even free will or intent to be dismissive of, or to be disrespectful towards another. We don't find this kind of channel and have these kind of gatherings here, having that kind of heart. All right. 1414 was just on that timer. 14 is a very high ranking, highly spiritually significant number. You may want to look that up since we got two of them. But even if you don't, I can tell you we're at least talking about some change here. Reducing to 55, that 1414 really can't get around it. And so you must make change within and without, right? And it's a whole ball of wax, I get it, right? But it's definitely doable. Just like it's not logic to actually create or find or purchase with the intent rose-colored glasses for just anyone or anyone at all. And yet we've talked about them a few times on this channel. See how amazing and strong and magnanimous and maybe even stubborn your energy can be and is meant to be, right? This is not a chastisement. It's a friendly and much loving redirection of that type of energy that you already are, you already possess. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if you're still with me, don't you want to know how to get through some of these next steps a lot easier than you've spent getting through the past days, weeks, months, and years, right? And that's what I want for you too. And as I say that, I'm looking down at this beautiful shiny Ace of Swords, all right? It's talking about clarity for a decision. All right. It's talking about communication of truth. It's talking about being compelled to focus your vision. Right. So, take that with a grain of salt if you must. But really, this message and its guidance is quite plain. All right. You've got to trust your intuition, trust the process, that you are being divinely guided as well as supported to see the bigger picture. All right. Your angels are definitely around you. Chills on that. They definitely wanted to come through in a few parts of this message. We've pulled from one of the angels' decks, as well as one of the romance angels that we have here for the channel. Okay, and they're really, really supporting you. They're saying time now to simplify. Okay, whether this is simply and solely in the thought pattern. Okay, whether this is actually talking about your humble abode, your dwelling space, whether this is talking about the mental heart space. Clean it out, declutter, get simplified so that you understand with a lot less work who you are, what you're doing, and your why in it. Okay, because many of you, I won't say always and I won't say never, right? But many of you have a mission here. You definitely at least have a role to play, all right? You are at least here, okay, for anyone under the sound of my voice to be the change that you perceive there to be need of in self, in community, in the world. Okay, so that's you. See how strong and amazing you are. See how needed you are. See how divinely supported and guided you are. Okay, so now I'm holding your hands, honey bun, whether guy, girl, what have you, and there are both here attached to this part of the reading as well, energetically, from what I can see. Okay, and this is hard. I get a lot of these people connected to these energies aren't even necessarily super expressive. You're the type to just bite your tongue, simmer and wait. Bite your tongue, simmer and wait. You know what that produces at the end, though? A powder keg of sorts, right? Nothing that you're deserving of, nor anything you're intending to be a creator of. And so this is also why these messages come through. So please don't allow for any shame to be attached to the message, because that's not the intent. And if that's something you're experiencing, that's something that you deal with you to you about, because I need you to know the divine is not sitting there going every time you're being judgy of yourself. Okay, the divine is not with the shits on that, just saying. Okay, and 1818 just came through that timer and it reduces to a beautiful 9-9. You want this. It's attached to this Ace of Swords energy, new beginnings, all right? And I see in current energies, it's more like given 9 of Swords, right? And I can see how sometimes when you get kind of addicted to that toxicity, you go, no, wait a minute, hold on, because I'm already at the 9 of Swords with the fuck shit. Why the hell would I want the Ace of Swords? The Ace is only one. If something happens to that one sword, right? It's like, wait a minute. Hold on, because what are you like? What? No, that is not actual clear perception or mindset, to be clear. All right, so let's fix that. Straighten your crown now, honey bun. Okay, because that mentality is what's going to keep you stuck in a Nine of Swords. All right, if you could only see the image crying on this picture of the Nine of Swords, you could clearly see, once you kind of like acclimate that to like, oh, that's kind of how I've been feeling, what I've been doing in the bed and out of the bed and in the shower. Then you start realizing that's not a good energy to be stuck in. Who cares what it represents? It doesn't feel nice. All right. So it's okay to go to the ace. How's the ace feel? Well, it's shiny. It's all strong and just courageous and mighty and bold. And, and maybe that is scary to be those things. What you already are. You already are. This is how you've been staying alive in the Nine of Swords. Okay? So act like you understand now the badass you are in the most highest vibrational sense of that word, and ideology and title, to be clear. All right. Archangel Michael might be an archangel prototype of some significance for you, since the Ace of Swords is definitely connecting to the representation of same. Okay. So, and again, the Ace of Swords brings clarity, right? It brings decisiveness. It brings communication. It's allowing you to focus on truth and hold vision. How is that bad just because it's one sword? You know how badass that sword? It's only one. This is giving archangel energy. It's like only there could have been a whole legion, gabillions of angels to show up to close the mouths of those lions, right? To get to that biblical reference, right? And yet still there was only the one that shut the multiple mouths, right? Only one archangel was necessary for that. So only one sword, honey, right? When you only have the one sword to deal with, you kind of bleed out a lot less, just saying, right? And so you kind of like grappling with the truth of this matter and really choosing this new truth, perhaps for some of you, to actually let everything go and stick with what works for you, what makes you feel not insane, right? But the opposite of that, where you feel blessed and supported and loved because you are. So why rock with the delusion any longer that you aren't, right? I'm also looking at an Ace of Wands here. New passion for love and life. So don't you want that? All you have to do is let this mofo, this mindset, these feelings of quote unquote normalcy and quote unquote safety, that of the Nine of Swords, ain't no way. That's a delusion, okay? And I get it. We've all been there. I'm not judging you for falling prey to any illusion or projection. We've all been there. Once you realize, though, even within yourself, even before you, even before you could get to this message, right? That's when you need to implement the strategy, right? That no, I know. So if you act, if you walked into a bank and you knew it was being robbed as you're walking in, your chances are you're not sticking around. You're not gonna go over to the nearest employee microwave and pop in your single serving of your skinny pop and wait for the outcome, right? Okay, so now that you know that you've had robbers and thieves, okay, in your mental space, in your heart space, in your physicality, some of you, many of you, right? That's why we say don't be casting pearls before swine, because then you got to deal with the aftermath, the after effects, the imprinting, the necessary alchemy, all right, just to get on with the getting on. And this is what we're talking about right now. Basically, alchemy. You are an alchemist. You can do this. You already are an alchemist. So you can do this. You've just got to make the choice. And here, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into what's going on with this person, these people. Okay? Just to help you understand that you already understood the assignment. All right? One moment. And Spirit is highlighting again this romance angel card. Let go of control issues. All right? Allow this situation to just be what it is, the lesson, right? You've got to actually choose to make yourself make the effort on this, though, because great love is worth taking these steps, but it ain't going to be with this person. All right. I get that there is a tie here, being that this is a past life lover. Okay. But Spirit is saying, as you get to know whom, how do I want to say this? As you get to know on a deeper level who you are, okay, that's going to assist you with attracting who is to come. And there is someone, okay? And when you get into that connection, as you do these steps, even before then, really, you are really going to be guided into forgiving and learning, but also seeing how that whole process that you're being asked to trust right now really is the learning and really is the forgiving. It's just you doing the work to be in alignment with what you're deserving of, including of whom all you are deserving of. I hope that makes sense. And no judgment. Sorry, I had a couple distractions. I had to hit pause in case you're noticing the music's changed a bit. You're not stroking out, neither am I. We're great. Right now, the guidance is coming through to get into what makes you feel good creatively, perhaps. If you haven't rested in a while, rest. Of course, you're being guided to get into that stillness, to get to this epiphany in a more further state, okay, than what I am able to give it to you through a general collective message, if that makes sense. All right, so if you'd like to do so, you are more than welcome to book a reading, okay? And if not, either way, I hope this gives you the clarity that you're looking for. Again, holding your hand, not thinking any of this is funny, right? But this person, they're not your person. Okay, I'm reading the words and I'm like, do I want to say all that? I mean, I've got cards like, I enjoy being with you because you do all the work. And other than that, out of sight, out of mind. And for many of you, these people would admit to others that they're bored in this connection. And the long, the short of it is, honey bun, this person came into your life to help teach you what you don't want in life as well as in love. And you definitely deserve better. Okay, so please, I mean, the card even states this, please honor the lesson for what it is. All right. Now we're going to get into the names and chart placements, right? But before I do that, I want you to know this person, some of you, this person has already entered into a connection. I mean, literally out of sight, out of mind, huh? Right? And in doing that, they've started another karmic cycle. And this could also be inclusive of a child, or they're born inside or outside of wedlock or not. Okay? They could have really gotten into and it's looking like it is a long cycle. Well, when you're talking children, there's that. It's a long cycle of I'm trying to say karma, and I heard ABUSE. I don't want to dive any further into that. I also don't think that's funny, right? But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, this person is going to be traipsing off. Instead of swapping any destiny with you, they're creating their own mal situations, their own karmic cycles, and that leads nowhere near the 10 of cups that you're heading towards. Okay, if you actually let this person go, if you actually take off the rose colored glasses and smash them, to be clear. Okay, if you don't, you're entering into some form of spiritual agreement by not letting this mofo go, right? By not taking heed, and you will be affected by this karmic cycle that this person is entering into, has created. And here's the sitch. You think that's worth that? You think this person, whether guy, girl, what have you, is worthy of that? Because from what I see, this person expected you to take care of everything. And for what I see, you thought the same thing. All right. Gone are those days, though. And I get it. Sometimes when you're dealing with patriarchy, or after effects of trickle down patriarchy, right, from one generation to the next, females, I've been here. It's like, oh, I should be Susie Q homemaker, and I should do all of the meals and all of the laundry, and I should do, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, like, because ain't no way one person can do all that. Like, I need actually like a partner. So if I am, going after what divine has me going after, right? This isn't even a selfish going after the bag situation. I mean, quite frankly, For anyone who thought it was, fix yourself, because that's not the case, okay? Ain't no way you can have an actual, genuine, authentic spiritual community, let alone spiritual business, and just be all doing it for shits and giggles. Ain't no way. There's not enough of the giggles, quite frankly, if I do say so myself. Anywho, moving on, right? Alchemizing on, more aptly stated. We've got Cancer, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, and Taurus energies out here, as well as the initials, whether first, middle, or last on the part of you or this person. N, H, S, Q, C, and A. California could be of some significance, doesn't have to be, or Atlantic City, just the same, I suppose. All right. But you want these aces coming through. They are, I'm hearing you're getting glimpses of what you could experience, right? And some of you, you got to be mindful. Don't see those experiences and give yourselves permission or another excuse to be bitter. Well, they've got a whole family. Everybody freaking loves each other over there. I bet you he wouldn't cheat on her. I bet you she wouldn't cheat on him. You know, it's, what are you telling the universe in that energy? I don't want that. That's horrible. You know? Whole time you're just jealous. See how jealousy can wreck the situation, though? And we talk about evil eye a lot. We've all done it. I mean, often unaware of it. You're just alchemizing in the moment. A little bit begrudgingly sometimes, right? Year after year after year of you not recognizing that, not checking yourself, not doing the preventative maintenance, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, right? Can catch up to you. And next thing you know, you are served a heaping pile of karma on the strength of whatever you've created in those moments. All right, so it's best to be mindful, just to check in with yourselves a lot more. You're going to do way less harm by doing that. And the crazy thing is, most people go checking in, and that's horrible pain, that's hell, I won't make it out the other side. And it's like, you're so funny, because you're either going to deal with it or carry it around and let it fester, you know, to the point where everybody has to know about it. Like, you could have just handled it. Yeah, you could have just handled it, you know what I mean, from you to you. Now there's a whole community getting involved because you wouldn't, kind of thing, right? And some of you, be mindful. If this person, this situation, or anything is causing you to drink, okay, that is a cry for you to recognize that what all ever you've been doing up to this point isn't working. So you've got to either dig a little deeper and or try a little differently. Really get into that stillness, you guys. Really get into your creativity. You know, you engaging with either of those energies or means, methods of modalities is really going to paint you a much beautiful picture, allow you to simplify a lot, with a lot more ease and a lot more clarity, yes, but more peace. Don't you deserve that, right? So, you know, peace is not really found inside of a bottle. Now, I'm not saying it like nobody should ever touch alcohol, right? There are different, you know, cultural beliefs behind that and everything. I'm not crapping on anyone's anything. All I'm saying is that came through the cards, all right, for someone, and nobody even needs to out themselves about who that's for, right? But please take heed to the message. Get some tea, for God's sakes, okay? And action what you've been trying to alchemize in the first place, okay? Because I see you hour after hour, night after night, you know, tossing and turning and wondering, making stories and you know, creating vivid mental pictures about what's going on with this person and what could be going on with you all, right? You can find a much better way to spend your energy, as well as your time, as well as your creativity. You know, when you're putting your energy, effort, and time and creativity into mental pictures, you want to make sure they're the ones that keep you feeling like you're on top, right? Not the ones that keep you in that Nine of Swords, anxious, riddled energy, okay? Because you don't really want to, even logically, create out of that kind of energy if you can help it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that makes sense for somebody, but please, if nothing else, take from this message that you are divinely supported and you are divinely guided and you are loved. Those are truths you can hold on to above all else. I'm so serious. I love you, collective. Much love and light.